All right, guys, we're very excited because domestic tourism in Nigeria is something that will really boom if we all push at it. Now, today, we've decided to take our AGN, talking about Nigeria Association
of Tour Operators.
Our meeting, we're taking it to Ekiti State. And why are we doing this?
You see, Ekiti is referred to as the land of the rolling hills. And of course, on this episode, you'll find out why it's referred to as the land of the rolling hills. So don't go away.
So let's roll the hills and members of NATOP, because this is our AGN.
Don't go away.
Ekiti State is one of Nigeria's scenic destinations for ecotourism. Renowned for its lush greenery, the state, named after its naturally sculpted hilly terrain and tropical climate, is an ideal hotspot for nature lovers. It is these all-worthy natural features, yet underexplored by tourists, that made Ekiti State the choice destination to host the National Association of Tour Operators (NATOP) 7th Annual General Meeting and Conference.
Hi! Now these are NATOP members. And what does NATOP stand for? Nigeria Association of Tour Operators. And where are we going?
Ekiti State.
Again, Ekiti State. All right, guys, it's our AGM, and we are getting ready to go to Ekiti State to have one of the most amazing AGM. Oh, yeah. Do you guys agree with me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what do we expect? Fun, 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 fun.
In line with its mandate of showcasing Nigeria's rich heritage and diverse landscapes, these tour operators from several parts of Nigeria assembled in Ekiti via the road to experience Ekiti State. Some of the tour operators shared their experiences on the road.
Hello everyone, guess where we are? We are in Ekiti State, in Abuad Hotel. The trip from Lagos was so beautiful. I've never been to Ekiti, so I'm super excited and I'm ready to have fun. You know, road trips are so beautiful. We're used to flying internationally, but this road trip, we saw a lot of beautiful terrain, nice forest, you know, and it was also good going through villages. We shopped, we bought akara.
We have different people in our midst, the media, people from Uganda Tourism Board, and you know, it's a wonderful AGM we have come to have here. Watch out and see NATOP flying.
Who are tour operators, you might ask? Tour operator Mr. Anagosho has an answer.
A tour operator organizes tour, designs tour itinerary. We advise you on the type of hotel. We are the one who also sell tourist destinations. Travel agents, they sell tickets that you use in traveling, okay? Of course, via airlines, etc. We all work together. It is important for us to continue to work together.
You can't talk about tourism anywhere in the world without mentioning tour operators, because our work is to go and discover places that are not known, places that ordinarily you will say it doesn't matter, you know, but we will go to that place, discover potential in that place, enhance the place, then promote it to tourists.
The AGM conference kick-started with a ceremonial presentation of certificates to members and opening remarks by the National President of NATOP, Mrs. Ime Udo.
Tourism does play a very major role to our economic growth globally, as a nation, as a state, as a locality. It is our duty as tour operators who do the business of tour operation, who are in the sector of tourism, to bring this to fore, to help the them understand what it is we bring to the table.
After this, the AGM and Knowledge Sharing Conference featuring academics in tourism, government and private stakeholders interfaced on ways of enhancing professionalism and collaboration. Some of the attendees share their thoughts on the importance of the AGM.
This is part of what NATOP have set out to do for Nigeria. NATOP moves its AGM out of Lagos and Abuja, and they go to visit states that have tourism attraction. So Ekiti is one of the states that NATOP wants to open up to Nigeria. NATOP has done Calabar, they've done Uyo, they've done Jos, they've done Ife, they've done Lagos, Abuja, and Owerri. So it's very, very exciting to have NATOP break another ground and come to Ekiti State.
What we are celebrating today is not just about our own AGM, it is more about showcasing the beauty of domestic tourism. We need to tell these stories. We are seeing, increase in ticket prices. We are hearing of Nigerians being banned from other countries, while we have destinations, amazing destinations in Nigeria, to even visit and showcase around the world. Here in Ekiti now, I can tell you a lot about their hospitality businesses, the tourist destination like the famous Ikogosi Warm Springs Resort. We have Arita Waterfalls. We have the Fajoi Park. We were there yesterday night to experience the splendor of Ekiti, the authentic Ekiti pounded yam with vegetables. And this is what we've been saying. We need to let people know what we have in our country.
The one great thing that is common in tourism is that stakeholders must continue to meet, aggregate, and organize what you call peer review. If you had listened to one of the officials, they said, we are not meeting as competitors, but we are meeting for collaboration and cooperation. And if we don't continue like this, outsiders will undermine us. We have to close our ranks, discuss new ideas, discuss new thinking that is across the globe. Remember that when COVID hit the world, nobody was spared. And the tourism sector, the tourism industry, the hospitality industry, the travel and trade industry was the worst hit, was the most hit. So collaborations like this, now that the world is reopening again, will ensure that we engage in new tactics, in the new thinking, and in closing more ranks.
Also featured was a dance presentation by the Ekiti Cultural Troupe, which electrified the ambience, attracting attendees who danced and clapped to the rhythm, to the admiration of the locals. Wrapping up the conference, awards were presented to eminent individuals and organizations within the tourism and allied industries who have distinguished themselves. Our camera caught up with one of the award recipients, the DG of Nahuto, Alhaji Nura Sani Kangiwa.
Well, it actually took me on by surprise because I was supposed to just come and deliver a goodwill message and go. Then I was surprised by an award. And anyone that actually looked into what you have done and find you worthy and deserving of honor, well, there's no elation that supersedes that. Well, domestic tourism, as we have been saying over and over again, well, by the bane of tourism, sustainable tourism development in Nigeria is the infiltration of quacks and all-comers into the system. So by the time we're able to identify who are the real key players and who are not, I think we have done more than 70% of that. And that is the partnership we have agreed to work on, NAHOTO and NATOP.
The tour operators can help Nigeria boost the sector by repackaging the assets and offerings and putting it at the disposal of the international community. Create websites that showcases these destinations, these assets that we've talked about.
As the conference draws its curtain, participants embark on an exploratory tour of Ekiti State. The first point of call was the Abuad Planetarium, where the tour operators experienced an exploratory virtual journey to space. The experience, best described as immersive and knowledgeable, had the tourists excited.
Here in the planetarium, I would say is a wonderful, wonderful experience. I actually learned a lot today because I never knew that they will have so many other planets that has so many things also. It's something so I would actually advise people to come to this place to visit. Yes, we know that we don't have the money to visit the space, but here you can actually visit the space virtually. So, and I would also say that the experience so far, it's so amazing. Please travel inward. Domestic tourism is a goal, and it's going to be the oil money that we're talking about.
This is a gold mine. So many people don't know about it. And it's things that we should sell. I heard it was mentioned by the Vice Chancellor that this is the first and the only, not the first, the one of its kind in Nigeria. And these are stories we should tell of ourselves. So domestic tourism in Nigeria can work. We need to tell our own stories by our own selves and marketplaces like this so that even foreigners can come and pay a visit.
This is the only facility of its kind in Nigeria as of today. All right, so it's a tourist hub on its own, and just like I said before, it is a place where you can really get to understand really the configuration of our universe. Let me put it that way.
The participants proceeded to the Abuad Multi-System Hospital, a burgeoning medical tourism facility sited in the pristine premises of Afe Babalola University.
Okay, I said this MRI 1.5 signal Explorer. It has 16 channels. The one we went to before was MRI 1.5 Tesla with 8 channels. That's the difference. This is a higher version. And so we have 2 MRIs in that we don't keep our patients waiting.
Furthermore, the participants took a quick tour of the Abuad Farm and Industrial Park.
Yeah, welcome to Industrial Park. That's Abuad Industrial Park. We process food there, and it's a research institute arm of the universities. So we have a pounding yam factory and Ogi factory. That's pulp, and we have cassava factory.
The team further proceeded to the Ikogosi resort, the home of the mystical cold and warm water spring. The resort, sited in a valley with hilly outcrops overlooking it, is one of the most fascinating tourist sites in Ekiti.
We are at Ikogosi Warm Spring Resort, and this place is such a beautiful place. It's such a beautiful place. I think everybody in Nigeria, if you're in Nigeria, should experience Ikogosi Resort. Start from the warm springs, the water, the cold. In fact, this place, the landscape is giving.
I mean, we've been hearing about the warm water, cold water stream. Trust me,
You need to come and experience it yourself. It is not a fable, it is real, like it is true.
As a tourist, you should expect absolute relaxation. Like you're here to just breathe in and breathe out. Because you've been in the city, you've been in other places where it's polluted. This is really, really a clean environment and has a wonderful vegetation.
Our tour guide, Mr. Tokbe, guides us through the origin of this nature's mystique, where cold and warm water meets but maintains its thermal feature.
So welcome to Ikogosi, one spring. This is the meeting point, the cold and warm water together. You can see the warm water over that place is light and the cold one is dark. So we have 4 different types of water that met together here. The warm water is 2 and the cold water is 2. The 2 cold water, that is the wives, the 2 wives, according to the history. The junior wife and the senior wife. And the 2 warm water, that is the father and the son. The father and the son. So what is there is that for the past of 700 years ago, there's one hunter man came from Ile-Ife. His name is Ogangan. So when the hunter man get into this place, for that hunter man to take out of the water, when touching it, the man now know that it is warm water. The man was so surprised that a flowing water, how it become warm water. That man is scared. Then later, the man is moving around the forest. Later, the man made the cold water again, and the man now traced the cold one till the man gets to the point of the warm water. The man now feel it, cold and warm water. The water was made together without mixing together. So for that man to know, maybe the water will dry or the warm water will cold. The man spent 3 months in this forest. So after 3 months, there's nothing like that. The man now went back to Ile-Ife to go and meet the elderly people, explain to them the meaning of the warm and cold water. In that olden day, our father believed in tradition, no education, nothing. They now went to go and meet the oracle people, explain to them the meaning of cold and warm water. The oracle is the one proceed that let them know that the water is not a ordinary water. It is for healing. They now ask that how come the water became healing water. So, and the oracle proceed again. The oracle is the one that let them know that for a lot of years ago, there's one man came from Ile-Ife. The name of the man is Awokwe. It is traditional healing man. So that man is the one that having the son, which is Olosun. That Awokwe is the one that having the 2 wives. One is Awele, second wife is Aina Orusun, according to the history. So that Awokwe is the one using power to command water from ground, according to them, that time. Instead of him to be using herb or leaves to be heal people, the man is using to command warm water and cold water to be healing their people. As time goes on, the man now thinks that it's time for him to die. And the man now called his son that he should go and find the left corner side and settlement there. So that when the son is getting there, it will see the water to use to be heal their people. So at the end of the day, the man knows that the son cannot command water. That is why the man promised himself with his people. And we heard that the man now turns to the warm water. The promise that the man made, that is what caused for the 2 wives to turn to the cold and cold water. So that son, Olosun, is the one that people know. When people came from different places, they will be asking of Olosun of Ikogosi. The son will take out of the warm water and the cold water, join it together and heal their people. So later, when it's time of education now, instead of them to be calling Olosun of Ikogosi, they are now showing to Ikogosi. Why Ekiti pronounce Ikogosi, Yoruba pronounce Ikogosi. So you are all welcome. Igi peregun. Yes, that is demarcating tree. In the olden day, our father used this kind of tree to share a boundary in between 2 people on a land or a farm. That is demarcating tree. So this is it. And there's no demarcating tree that's big like this one in Africa. That is what I want to explain. Apart from demarcating something, when we see something like this, Anywhere we see a tree like this, which is demarcating tree, apart from that, maybe there used to be share a boundary or a land. Anywhere we can find it, it means of a place of shrine.
The tourists also shared their experiences of this destination.
Actually, my experience so far is that it's very awesome because for the very first time I'm seeing this. I could remember when I was growing up, the story behind this was so different from what I'm hearing now. So it's kind of enlightening to me. You know, meeting with the two wives of, because then I was growing up, they told me that it was the two wives of the king, which was the hot one and the one that was temperament and the one that was cool. You know, they had this issue and then they were fighting together. Both of them were fighting, and with that they had to fall inside the water and then continue with their fight. That was what I heard when I was growing up. So coming now, I'm hearing different something. So it kind of blew my mind, and you know, getting the history, knowing the history behind this.
We are here live at Ikogosi Warm Spring Resort. It's a beautiful resort, and then look at all the area. It's a green area. We have also, you know, been told the history of the hot water and the cold water meeting together. And this is also healing, you know. It's been a wonderful experience here.
Ekiti is a green area that we can now promote the eco-tourism. We are here to promote the tourism, and I call all these things. We have a warm water, natural warm water, and with this water I am, they call it the father, and the other one is the sun. The father is warmer than the sun. So we are here, I'm here to test the water. You can drink, they say it's a healing water. It can heal any ailment. If you believe, everything depends on the faith.
And we've been here for the past 2 days. It has been awesome. We've been enjoying ourselves, having fun, meeting ourselves, all the operators. We are sharing ideas. In fact, it's an opportunity for us to know ourselves. And I feel so glad that I'm here, that I came here to experience this awesome experience.
With the hilly terrain of Ekiti State, this state is one of the many untapped destinations in Nigeria. And now you know the reason Ekiti State is known as the land of the rolling hills. Here are some tips on how to enjoy yourself on a long bus ride. Number 1. Bring fun things to do. Make sure you have enough to entertain yourself. Good things to bring include music player, books, tablet or laptop computer. Engage yourself. Look out through the window at the scenery or talk to other people. Keep a calm mentality about the bus ride. This is harder than it sounds, but when mastered, it is a big help in many areas of life. Avoid snapping at or arguing with fellow commuters, for that will only make the trip dramatic and uncomfortable for everyone. Finally, when the bus does make a few stops, don't hesitate to get off and stretch your legs. Travel Tips is brought to you in conjunction with Goge Africa Travel Club.